Buenos Aires, 2006. The city pulsed with life. Tango dancers twirled in San Telmo. Car horns echoed along Avenida Corrientes. And in the upscale neighborhood of Acasuso, a sleek silver van idled near the Banco Rio branch. Inside, 5 men sat in silence. Fernando Araujo, the mastermind, adjusted his watch and whispered, "Remember, we're artists, not criminals. We take money, not lives." The others nodded. Mario, the ex-cop turned strategist. Sebastian, the locksmith genius. Ruben, the driver. And Julian, the negotiator with a calm voice and steel nerves. They weren't amateurs. They had spent months rehearsing, mapping every inch of the bank, and even digging into the police response protocols. Today was the day. At 12 p.m., the van doors swung open. Fernando smiled faintly as the team stepped out wearing wigs and fake mustaches. They carried toy guns, replicas of assault rifles. Inside the bank, the security guard barely had time to react before Mario shouted, "This is a robbery! Everyone down! Nobody move!" Panic erupted. Clients screamed, tellers froze, alarms blared. Exactly as planned. Meanwhile, Julian picked up the bank's phone. He calmly called the police. "Yes, we have hostages. We want negotiations." The illusion was perfect. The police would think it was a typical armed robbery, but it wasn't. Downstairs, beneath the chaos, Sebastian quietly opened a manhole cover in the vault. A hidden tunnel led straight to the city's storm drains. 2 months earlier, the team had spent nights digging that tunnel, inch by inch, using blueprints stolen from the municipal archives. They installed lights, fans, and even reinforced walls to prevent collapse. Now, inside the vault, Sebastian's steady hands unlocked each safe deposit box. They filled duffel bags with gold bars, jewels, and stacks of US dollars. Fernando checked his stopwatch. 40 minutes left before the police's special forces would storm the building. Upstairs, Julian was buying them time, pretending to negotiate. He told the police, "We want pizza and soda for everyone, and no one gets hurt." It made the robbers seem foolish, harmless even. The officers laughed, relaxed, and waited. At precisely 2:30 p.m., the team moved fast. They descended one by one through the vault's manhole, dragging bags filled with nearly 20 million in cash, jewelry, and valuables. When the police finally stormed the bank, they found terrified hostages, but no robbers. Only plastic toy guns, empty pizza boxes, and a handwritten note. In a neighborhood of rich people, without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love. The robbers had vanished into the storm drains beneath Buenos Aires, ghosts in the underground maze. The heist stunned Argentina. News channels called it the robbery of the century. Police officers were humiliated, the public was fascinated, and Fernando Araujo became a folk hero overnight. But success breeds suspicion. Weeks later, an informant tipped off the authorities. One by one, the robbers were caught, not through violence, but through pride, loose talk, and betrayal. During interrogation, Fernando smirked. "You can arrest the men," he said, "but not the idea." Years later, while serving his sentence, Fernando received a letter, no return address. Inside was a small photograph of a gold bar engraved with the words, "Art lasts forever." He smiled. Somewhere out there, not all the loot had been recovered. Maybe Ruben had kept his secret. Maybe the tunnel had more than one exit. Fernando leaned back in his cell, eyes glinting with quiet pride. Even in captivity, he had achieved something rare. A heist so perfect, it became legend. The Banco Rio robbery was more than a crime. It was a masterpiece of planning, deception, and human ambition. No one died. No shot was fired. Just 5 men who dared to challenge the system, and for a brief moment, won. Like and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories filled with suspense, twist, and the minds behind history's greatest heists.